Passed down through generations, these cherished family recipes carry the flavor of tradition, now reimagined with a modern twist. From classic comfort to contemporary creativity, it's heritage with a fresh new flavor here at Pope's Plates.
Hi, welcome to Pope's Plates. We're delighted that you've joined us again today. One of the special things about spring, summer, and early fall is being able to go to a produce stand and buy fresh produce right from a farmer's land close to where you are. We normally go to one particular farmer's stand, but we ran out of time on Saturday and went to a new one called Hidden Gem. We had never been there before, and boy, were we impressed. There was a vendor that had the most beautiful food. And we bought something that we've never bought before. We didn't even know what this was. It is a delicata squash. Now, some of you may know this really well, but I had never seen it, nor have I eaten one. We also found some incredibly beautiful tricolor carrots. We're going to try these. They probably all taste like carrots, but we've never tried the tricolor before. We're going to do these two ways. We're going to bake them, and we're going to shred them in ribbons and put a balsamic glaze on these. We also found interesting and multicolored purpley and red and yellow peppers. Small tomatoes that we're going to blister to cook with the sauce that goes in the squash. This was really a haul, and I think the total cost to us at this farmer's stand was about $21, which was way less than we would pay in a grocery store. So I encourage you, take advantage of the spring, summer, and early fall in your community. Find a farmer's stand that you love and get fresh produce and cook whatever is in season. You'll really be glad that you did. We're going to get started in just a moment, but again, we thank you for joining us.
Actually, hold on. So we've never done anything with this squash before. We're not even following a recipe. We're doing something we've never done before, and we're just making it up. This is the only one we have. So our recipe might be delicata squash boats, and it might be some blood thinner, Lisa. The person on the blood thinner should not be the one that's cutting it. Here, I have an idea.
Wait,
Stop.
let's go. Okay. No, don't put your hand there.
Nice. Okay.
That's as good as it's going to get.
Teamwork makes the dream work. These are very solid.
Little what they are.
Yes, squashes. So when I saw this, I looked at Mom and thought, it's so funny. I'll probably think that we do spend a lot of time together, but we're not together every day. But when you see us, we're always together. I said, you know what would be fun is if we just get something we've never done anything with before, and we decide to make a recipe with that. I can already tell you that this is more pumpkin-like than squash-like. But I'm going to scrape out the seeds, and I am quite literally making up this recipe chopped style. So we're going to make a Italian sausage stuffed delicata squash boat. I thought this would be a little more zucchini-like. And with zucchini, you put salt on it to draw the water out. Squash seeds and the salt. Everything's fine. We have no plan. This is fun. We've never done this before. So I'm going to put a little bit of salt on here like I will do when I make zucchini boats and set this aside so that the water draws out, so that it's not super soggy when you bake it. Although, I don't think that's going to be a problem. Who knows? We'll see. So we have to blister some tomatoes. The first thing I'm going to do is take the stem, the green part off of San Marzano. That's what the sign said. San Marzano tomatoes. There's no recipe, but I asked AI what I could give me some ingredients that go well with Delcata squash. So I'm going to put this pan back here on high to blister these tomatoes. If you have kids or you have a tall, curious dog, make sure that the handles are not facing out so that your child or your dog don't knock it off. I'm not going to put any oil in the pan. I'm going to let it get hot and I'm just going to blister these. We want these kind of burnt looking. I'm going to cook these onions with the Italian sausage. And so I'm going to cut them rather small because I want them to cook completely through. But I will tell you that we're going to be baking these, roasting these. I'm going to toss these in and I'm going to keep an eye on these. But again, we want the idea of fire roasted. These are really thinly sliced, but kind of rustically sliced onions. Lovely. This wasn't thin enough for me. I'm gonna make sure that everything is even smaller than I originally did. All right, and then I'm probably only going to use one of these peppers. So I'm going to cut, they're so cute. They're great colors. And there's pepper and salt pepper. I love it when that happens. I don't know what these are called. I mean, I'm sure they're just bell peppers, but they're beautiful. And the whole fact that you eat first with your eyes is interesting because my mother and I, neither one, oh, you hear that? Like winter squash much. I like sweet potatoes, and my mother doesn't, but I'm not a huge pumpkin fan. But there was something about the aesthetics of this dish that was so appetizing. And the person I live with, my sister for all intents and purposes, loves winter squash type things. So even if we don't like this, she will like it. When Mom and I were we weren't troubleshooting, but because we don't have a recipe, we were just talking about what we were going to make. She said, you're going to have a lot of leftover meat. And she's not wrong. So what I'm going to do, if we have a lot of leftovers of this mixture, is I'm going to take it home with me, cook some ziti noodles or penne pasta or even spaghetti if you would like. And I'm going to put a little bit of mascarpone or ricotta cheese, probably ricotta, Parmesan, maybe some tomato sauce, bake it, and have a great baked ziti because we're doing a lot of the heavy lifting now. I'm going to finish cutting this and then we are going to get back to you with our vegetable mixture on the stove. That works for y'all. We'll see you in a minute. I'm going to show you that we're starting to get some little, bigger char marks on some of our tomatoes. That's what we want. I'm probably only going to leave these in for another 45 seconds or long enough for me to put this camera back. And then we're going to take them out and put our vegetables in with a little olive oil. Okay, we are going to move over to the stove, all of us, in just a minute. But I want to show you how beautiful this char is on this tomato. It's so pretty, and this is what we want. And once these cool, because this is hot, even though I'm holding it, we're going to chop them up and put them in our sauce. Okay. I am going to scoot these vegetables in. We're going to have grease from the sausage. Sorry, I'm blocking my mom. You're good. We're going to have grease from the sausage that is going to, we also put olive oil in there, by the way. So we're going to cook this down until the sausage is completely finished, and then we're going to drain it. And while we do that, I'm going to be doing that. Mom and I are going to switch places. Charlie, I'm going to be kind of doing this in the background while Mom tells you a little bit more about her carrots.
As I said earlier, we have tricolor carrots. We're going to try to fix these two different ways. I'm going to cut off the end pieces and put those in our garbage bowl. And I am going to peel these just very slightly to get the peeling off of half of the carrot.
Would you like me to put the balsamic in?
Yes, please.
Okay, we are making a balsamic glaze, which is quite literally reduced balsamic vinegar. We're not adding anything special to it at all. This is great over watermelon, by the way. Like, so good.
I'm making a giant mess here, which is not unusual. I'm going to do this instead. How about that? Oh, my goodness, that is a pretty color. And what we're going to do with these, once I get the outer skin, half of them I'm going to cut in medallions. And we're going to roast those along with the squash when we roast it. The other half, I'm going to use the peeler and literally make shreds of carrot that we can blanch, which is just put in boiling water for a moment or so. And then we're going to use the balsamic glaze on those. But this one is white. Oh, this almost looks like it could be a turnip. But I don't think it is. It's a white carrot.
I wonder if they all taste the same.
I don't know. We're going to find out. For those of you who have experimented with this before, you can share your thoughts with us in the comments below. But this is new to us. And this one is really kind of skinny.
And don't follow these recipes until we tell you how they turn out. Kind of like on Chopped, which is what I'm equating this to. We might make something terrible, or we might make something great. You never know, but we'll let you know.
Just don't know. Okay, I'm going to slice these in medallions. Oh, this is really pretty. Look at this. It's orange on the inside and purple on the outside. Who knew? That is really kind of cool.
Shut up. That is so cool.
Okay, I'm going to set these aside, and we're going to roast those when we roast the others. Now, this, we're just going to do the shreds. And this is going to be interesting when I get through the purple part and get to the orange part. So we're going to have really 4 colors of carrots before we're through with this.
And then we might be able to give it to Charlie. If you have any pointers, if you have a dog that doesn't like to drink, and you have any pointers, let us know. Charlie got very sick a week and a half ago, like emergency room, multiple hours, multiple treatments, because he had a bladder stone because he doesn't drink. And we've noticed that since we rescued him. We've tried all the tricks, and the biggest success we've had is giving him ice because he thinks it's food. Because he's not very smart, but he's very pretty, and we love him. But yeah, let us know. Has nothing to do with cooking, but
Yeah, we have gone so far as to make bone broth jello with lots of water because he thinks that's a treat as well. Anything that we can get to get water, they told us based on his weight, he should drink about 30, 35 ounces of water a day. And that's a lot of water. And he's getting nowhere close to that.
I would say straight drinking, he does maybe 6 to 8.
Yeah.
The rest we have to supplement.
You see, I'm getting quite a pile of little carrots here. And what we're going to do when I finish this is get some water boiling, a little salted water, and we're going to drop them in that salted boiling water.
I will get that started.
Okay.
Halfway full.
Yeah, I think that would be fine. And put it on high because I need to get it hot for hurry.
Okay.
All right. I do have quite a pile here of carrots. We're gonna have these ready as soon as the water boils. One of the other things we need to get out at the moment is probably a baking sheet with some parchment paper. So we'll be back in just a minute when we have everything ready to put in the oven.
We are 400.
Yes.
Okay, we're gonna Mom is gonna go wash her hands somewhere, not the kitchen, and then we're gonna preheat the oven to 400. I have drained our well, I can preheat it without our hands being washed. All right, I've drained our meat. I have cut up our charred tomatoes. I have the fire going. Make sure everything is mixed in. Now, I'm going to turn off our flame and add, I'm going to say a handful. I'm going to stir it in. We want this wilted and not cooked down. So I'm going to put a little bit in at a time and stir it. We may need to turn the fire back on. Again.
It's spinach, by the way. I didn't say that.
We're just making this up. You also might be someone who doesn't like the stems. I actually like them. This is wilting well. All right, I'm going to put one more handful in. And I think that's all the spinach I'm going to add. Now, because this feels Italian to me, I'm going to add some garlic powder. I'm going to say half plus a teaspoon. And I'm going to add some Italian seasoning. You can add oregano, basil, Italian seasoning, tarragon, really whatever flavors you want to add. Adding about half a teaspoon of that. Okay, my second batch of spinach did not wilt quite as much as I wanted it to. So I'm going to turn our fire back on just for a second to get things a little warmer. Oh, it smells really good. And the fun thing about this being recipe-less is that you can add whatever you like. If you love carrots, put carrots in this. If you want to make, which I think will be really good, like a shepherd's pie with mashed potatoes and a beef lamb mixture and put that in there and bake it, I think that would be really good. Again, you do whatever you like. All right, we are wilted, we are good. The last thing I'm going to add before I put our mixture in our squash is a little bit of binding. I'm adding some breadcrumbs. There is quite a bit of liquid in here. I'm going to add about half a cup. As you can see, I measured very well. So I'm spooning this in. I'm going to sort of pack it as I go. I'm going to put more at the top end of our hills. We've never cut one before. It's okay. especially the ends because they have little crevices. And we are going to have quite a bit left. Now, if you want to use this with leftovers with ziti, don't put an egg in it. My guess is, we didn't put an egg in this. I'm gonna sort of pack them a little mountainously. Is that the right one? Gonna add a tiny bit more. And then, Mom, do you want to add the rosemary after?
Yeah, I think we're going to put the rosemary with the
carrot. Okay, the last thing I'm going to do is put some freshly shredded, not by me, Parmesan on the top of these. Make sure that there's none on the carrots. And we are ready. We have about half of it left to put these into a 400-degree oven. I'm going to check them at 20 minutes. Yeah, 15, 20 minutes. I think the carrots are going to be ready before the other things are. So we will let you know how that turns out. Okay, while our stuff is in the oven, I'm just going to put our leftovers in a dish while we're recording and watching basketball at the same time. And the game is going into overtime. So while they take their break, I'm going to get this put away so that, and this will make, I would say, baked ziti for 4, maybe? Especially if you add tomato sauce and have it pasta heavy. It smells so good. Oh, it tastes really good. It's really sweet in like the sweet sausage. But then the onions, I'm guessing, are pretty zesty. Oh, I like it so far. So we'll get this put away. And then as soon as our squash comes out, we're going to put our carrot our carrot ribbons in. And they're going to go for, I would say, maybe a minute and a half. Maybe 2 minutes. I could be way off base. Mom's going to do that. And then we'll glaze them and we'll show you what everything looks like and how everything tastes.
I put the shredded carrots in to parboil for just a few seconds. They've been in maybe 30, 40 seconds. I'm going to take them out and drain them.
The water is a cool color.
Yes, it is.
Interesting.
Rosemary here. And I'm going to tear off some of these from the stem. We're not going to need a whole lot. Rosemary has a very distinct flavor. And if you get too much of it, it can really be intense. So we don't have a whole pile of carrots. I'm going to just do a little bit of this. One of the interesting things about this household is that we never have knives that are sharp enough. And I can use a knife sharpener and they'll be perfect for one time and then they're not any good anymore. And I don't think it's because they're bad knives. I think it's because I don't know what I'm doing when I'm sharpening them. Okay, that looks like good. Okay, the carrots. Put them in our bowl. Some pretty colors. Got the last few that were in the drainer. Sprinkle rosemary over the top. And I'm going to mix that in a little bit so that the heat from the carrots begins to let the fragrance from the rosemary come out. Oh, it smells wonderful. Rosemary is such a great herb. Now, remember, we had balsamic glaze. I'm going to put this over.
That is the perfect consistency.
Yeah. Oh, that's good. That really looks nice. And of course, now stirring it up, I just made a mess in the bowl, but there you go. That's good.
Is it strong?
Yeah, that's good. This is a pretty big bowl. Can you see? And I made a mess of it, but there you go.
We'll clean the sides off.
It's good. We have finished our 2 dishes, experimental as they were. Although the squash was not cut very well, that's really hard. And I don't have the best knife for that. I think you're going to need a cleaver of some sort to get it cut evenly. But they do look beautiful. It took about 45 minutes on 400 for them to cook. Next time we will tint them first so that the steam helps to cook them a little bit faster perhaps, and that they don't get quite as browned on the top. We also will not cut the carrots in medallions. We will make much bigger cuts, maybe cut on the diagonal. The shreds of carrots, I think, are a win. The flavor of the rosemary, they're still a bit crunchy, even after having been parboiled for just about 35 or 45 seconds. We're satisfied with this. We haven't tasted all of it yet, but it looks pretty. And I think we're going to try an experimentation again when we get something else from the farmer's market. If you enjoyed watching today, please comment in the box below. Look for the recipe and make your own additions and changes. That's what cooking is all about, is experimentation and living with the results, whether they're good or bad. So until next time, let's keep cooking.